Hey friends, okay, I finished unburdening. I finished it all, so I was going to give an update for for anyone who was curious and asking if I finished the unburdening and got down to the root of it. And I did, and I already feel different. I'm excited to engage in some of the projects and tasks. Oh, I already am today. And it was going by so easily. Aw, yay. Okay, so I got down to the root of it, and it actually was deep past, or some people consider, oh, what do you call that? Just like preconception wounds, which you could also look at just like as a concept wound instead of from a certain age in your lifetime. So, there's another word for that, a lot of people call that. Anywho, so these different concepts or storylines we could consider. The first one was seeing someone get punished for making mistakes or for doing things poorly. And I adopted the belief of I'm never gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna do things really well so that I don't get punished. So then after I interacted with that storyline and that reaction to it, to find to see more perspective and be able to let go of that firm reaction of like, I'm just going to always do things right. I'm just going to do them well, and then I'll never be in danger. So that was the first one. There were three, I think. The second one was the storyline is me doing something, really important task that people's safety depended on, and they were counting on me to do it. And I had made a promise that I would do it and do it well, but the circumstances just didn't work out, and I wasn't able to complete it, whatever the task was. And so I made a personal belief of, like, I know I could have done it if I had had enough time, or if the circumstances had been supportive. I could have completed that task that I promised I would do. So that was hanging around, kind of like wanting to prove to myself that I can do it, that I can complete like a process. But it's kind of like high stakes. Yeah, sorry, kind of hard to describe, I'm discovering. And then the third scenario was a storyline of someone hosting like a party and wanting to do it really well, so that they could gain more favor and prestige in their community, to like bring a good name for their family. And they worked so hard, and no one even noticed. People, like, the party went well and it was great, and people, benefited and enjoyed it, but no one noticed all the work they did. No one applauded them or kind of cared, and they felt really really disheartened by that. And also like a belief that their reputation is what would give them worth, basically. And so I'd kind of taken on some of the beliefs around that of like, crap, people aren't even going to notice or appreciate, even if you do it something perfectly. Boy, this whole like the whole just interacting with the relationship of doing tasks was just getting heavier by the boy, it could be dangerous. You could get punished, or violence for making mistakes or not doing it well. I definitely am never going to be like that. I'm going to always do everything perfectly so that I never have to deal with getting punishments or abuse for not doing it well. Oh, bug. And then trying to prove to myself like I could do it, like the task I wasn't able to do. Like prove to myself like I can still do it. I can still like prove that I can complete tasks, but holding it as like a very high stakes. And then the added perspective of like, even when you do it really well, no one's going to even notice. So I was able to clear and heal each of those, and like the wounds and the trauma that, oh, sorry if that's making noise, that had helped create the beliefs and the personal like commitments, promises to myself that were not healthy and not helping me, and then bring a new perspective and broader, like a new solution that was a healthier solution for each of those different storylines and concepts. And I feel really good. Feel really good now. Oh, okay, so this was interesting. So the day after finishing that, the next day I became aware in my head of like 5 or 6 things that felt intuitively just important for the day. Like it was important, those were the priorities for the day. And I said like, I started to feel some nervousness around like, oh no, like, am I going to be able to do them? And then what if there's a best way to do them that I don't know about? Of like, what if there's a better order? Because like, it's true, if some things energize you, like if you exercise earlier in the day, it'll give you more fuel and more energy for later in the day. So you actually have more energy in that whole day to get more done. Or some things might be, like there might be a window of opportunity of like, if you get the feeling like I should really text this person or get back to this client right now, sometimes it's because there's a window of opportunity on their end where they happen to be available right then. So like the timing does matter. So I started feeling this anxiety, like nervousness of like, oh no, what if, oh crap. In the past, like I didn't, like things, the part would surface and then I wouldn't get to all of them, or like as many as I thought I could. That will be disappointing. What if I don't know how to do it? Anywho, so I listed all the different coping mechanisms I had mentioned in the last video of like how I'd gotten really good at lots of different skills of like, at least do like a small chunk of each of them so that you've touched on each of them. They've all moved forward a little bit. Or pick the easiest one, start with that because you'll start crossing things off the list. Pick the most urgent one. Pick the ones that will energize you the most, do them first, and you'll have more energy and a higher likelihood of finishing the rest. I like listed through all of my previous genius ideas of how to manage this area of my life. And then I was able to just kind of relax into my intuition and just like flow into like the first one that called to me and then the next one that called to me. And it worked out really well. It worked out so well. And in the past, I wouldn't have been able to just flow with my intuition or for that long without getting it interrupted. And with like that much peace and like kind of like clarity of like, yeah, do this one first. Because I'm a firm believer that you can co-create with the universe, and lots of things can actually get done much faster than if you just do it yourself or you try and do it through force. So I was able to experience more of that, more co-creating with the universe. It was fantastic. Hooray for healing. We're not stuck.